you're under time constraints. I'm going to jump back to Jona really fast.
Yeah.
On this question.
I think I'm okay.
Okay. I'm going to jump back to Jona real fast on this question. So Jona, up until now, you haven't worked in a diverse environment, and it's worked out for you. How's it impacting you now? How's it impacting you professionally?
Honestly, it set me up for my latter years in this industry.
Okay.
And that's why I'm here with Teksystems. I started my own consult after that full SAP implementation. It taught me what I was capable of to be able to run a project at that level and be the project manager for all of development for a full SAP for every module. I don't know that before that project I thought that highly of myself. The vice president that I worked for, or he was a VP or director for development, he and I are connected to this day, had gone through 4 project managers in 7 months. They didn't tell me that till after that, after they hired me.
Yeah.
So when I got in, I found out very quickly why, because he was very analytical, but so am I. And so I was able to realize that, and so the way he responded to deliverables was like he questioned everything. And I realized very early on that he wasn't questioning my ability. He was just questioning the accuracy, because remember, he had all of development for a full SAP implementation. So he was the one going into the room with the numbers. A lot of things were red at one particular time. So he knew he was going into a fireball. And so I just realized that it wasn't personal. And so I said, okay, he's analytical like me. And I had this monstrosity of a workbook, Excel workbook that kind of pushed out these pretty pictures, right? And so, so the night before he would have to go into his executive meeting, I would just send him over the workbook. So he would go over the numbers, have that comfort that the numbers, everything that I sent him in the pretty pictures was accurate. I did that for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. After that, I didn't have to do it anymore. And things got really bad. We had to delay the project. And he had to go in and prove why. And so I had to give him the numbers for that. So he just poked his head in my office that morning. He was like, how confident are you with this? How confident are you in these numbers? I said, 99.9% we need to delay. He said, okay, gotcha. So that's where we got to. So for me, it set me up for confidence. It set me up to be able to lead. It set me up for me to speak out. I think that's probably why you know the story, Ardell, that I became the program manager for Everson. Because, Fireball kicked in. I'm on the call like, okay, I can handle bigger fires than this. We're talking 11 million. Let's talk 100 million. You know what I'm saying? So I spoke up on that call. And there were a lot of leaders on that call. And so that's how I ended up. So I think that's what it's done for me. It gave me confidence over time. And when I got into situations of non-diverse, most of the time my non-adverse, not so good activity were people that were not my equal. If you get what I'm saying. It's never been my equal, counterparts. It's always been employees. And I will say men, it's always pretty much been men. I'm not going to say that they have a problem with women, but sometimes when you're communicating with them, you can tell there's a little bit of an issue there just by the mere fact that I'm a woman having to give them instruction. And I've always been kind of sort of careful about how I communicate, because I have an edge to my voice. I have a strong presence. And so some men, they call them masculine men. I beg to differ, because if you're self-confident in yourself, you're not going to allow some woman to walk in there and give you instructions and then you back. I'd say something different. That's another conversation at another time.
Okay.
Okay. So
I can hear that conversation now.
Dolores,